Under investigation this morning, they are accused of forcing women to have sex with them in a scandal that spanned 5 years. KTLA's Chris Burrows live at LAPD headquarters in downtown with the details. Chris, good morning.
Morning to you, Chris. We're here standing by waiting for the chief to arrive this morning for work. What a headache for him. What a black eye for the department if all this is true. We're talking about 2 undercover narcotics vice officers that work the Hollywood and the North Hollywood area, now under investigation by the department, and apparently have been for some time, for, as you say, allegedly forcing women to have sex with them in department-issued undercover vehicles. You can see, take a look, this is the lawsuit that has been filed that lays out a lot of these allegations. One woman filing the lawsuit says that these officers got her out of jail if she agreed to be a drug informant, but they also required her to perform sexual acts on them. One officer allegedly involved, while the other was watching out. Now, a total of 4 women have come forward, we understand. Some say they were handcuffed during these sex acts. Officers Luis Valenzuela and James Nichols, who we're talking about, between them, 2 decades of experience with the LAPD. The police are now investigating. They've taken the officers' phones and computers.
When you have an individual with a badge and a gun, with the police department, with the power to pull someone out of custody at the snap of a finger, I couldn't imagine someone with any more power.
Chief Charlie Beck says he's saddened by the accusations. If true, he says this is horrific. Now, here's a bit of the rub. This apparently has been going on for some time. I'm talking about the investigation. Between 4 and 5 years, the officers, according to sources, tell us the officers just became aware of this yesterday, but they've apparently been under investigation for quite some time. I want to talk with the chief this morning about, did the department wait too long? What was the thinking? Hopefully we'll have more for you as we go through the morning. Live in
Police officer captured on video delivering a profanity-laced verbal attack is out of a job tonight. The video was posted on YouTube and shows Officer Disraeli Arnold yelling and threatening a teenager who was being arrested. Today, the Hearst police chief fired Officer Arnold. New tonight, NBC5 Scott Gordon is live with reaction. Scott?
Well, Christy, an activist who's been protesting the arrest, says tonight the department did the right thing. And tonight the teenager's grandmother is saying the same thing. Now, the YouTube video of the controversial arrest has now been seen thousands of times. 17-year-old Andrew Rodriguez was on the ground for several minutes, an officer struggling to arrest him when backup officer Disraeli Arnold arrived. This cell phone video, shot by Rodriguez's friend, shows Arnold jumping on him and threatening him in a tirade full of profanity. The officer then played to the camera, shouting his name and badge number.
You got it on tape? Arnold, 654.
654.
After an internal affairs investigation, Hearst police found Arnold did not use excessive force, but was fired for being disrespectful and using profane and harsh language. Rodriguez's grandmother and a civil rights activist helping the family praised the decision.
We look to the police for protection, not to the police to be intimidated or be, called nasty for the letter words. So we're very happy that he has been fired.
I'm just glad of the outcome, that's all I can say. And for the most part, the Hearst Police Department are fantastic police.
Officer Arnold now has 10 days to appeal his firing. The teen's family says they plan to file a lawsuit.
All I can say is I just don't want this to happen to somebody else. That's it.
Tonight, the charges against the teenager still stand. He's due in court on Monday. Reporting live in Hearst.
A Sacramento officer accused of unthinkable crimes against an elderly woman. Chris Beal live with us now. This guy on the force for 22 years. And Chris, we understand the victim, 76-year-old woman. Is that right?
That's right. The victim, 76-year-old woman, but you're talking about the officer, a veteran officer. But according to the chief of police, it sounds like this officer, now ex-officer, was on the force for the past 2 years without them knowing about this crime. Sacramento police say this now former officer's victim was a 76-year-old woman. Investigators say they figured out he met the woman while out on routine patrol a couple years ago, coming back to her apartment near 24th and South Manor Drive when he was off, forcing his way in and raping her. Court documents reveal a stroke had made it tough for the woman to communicate, but she tried her best to fend off the man, a man she recognized as maybe an officer.
I have no explanation why Mr. Baker would do such things. None, zero. We've searched long and hard to find out what would cause this.
But still no answers. Sacramento's chief of police says over the past 2 years, Baker went back to the woman's house, sometimes sexually assaulting her in some way, sometimes not. It wasn't until this month investigators say a newly installed surveillance system caught someone suspicious on camera. Investigators say they recognize the guy as an officer in their department, Officer Baker. He was arrested.
As one person can bring the reputation of a whole organization down by his behavior. And we just want to emphasize that is not a representation of the Sacramento Police Department. And we know that we're going to lose a little bit of trust with the community. And we're going to work tirelessly to gain back that trust.
In 2010, investigators, they collected DNA evidence, but when they put it in the system, there was no match because this ex-officer wasn't in the system. Now that he is in the system, they're going to be going back to see if there are any additional victims, but they do believe that crime back in 2010 was his first serious crime.
Tasered and cuffed. Dashcam video captures the arrest of a Delaware man. He's suing, saying this video proves he did nothing wrong. NBC 10 investigator Harry Harrison is live in our Digital Operations Center to break it all down for us. Harry?
Well, Renee, a Delaware man says it was a case of mistaken identity when police stopped him, and then things got violent.
How you doing? How you doing? Step on out for me. Step on out. What's the problem, man? Step on out. Step out. Step out. Okay, I'm getting out. I'm getting out. I'm getting out, man. I'm gonna you.
This is the Seaford Police dashboard video that captured all of the action from September of last year. In the end, police arrested the driver, Reginald Johnson. Did those charges stick?
The charges did not stick. They dropped those charges against Mr. Johnson for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest without any concession by Mr. Johnson.
Johnson's attorney, Daniel filed the lawsuit in federal court. Personally, just your reaction, what you saw in this video.
Well, I won't comment too much on the video, but the video does speak for itself about the events that happened to Mr. Johnson on his 43rd birthday and the damages he suffered.
Declined to talk in detail about the lawsuit, but the suit alleges police were looking for someone else when they stopped Johnson. And the suit also points out that after police realized they made a mistake, one of the officers is caught on tape talking about dropping dope and then laughing. Listen for yourself.
Somebody dropped the dope in here.
Seaford police told me because of pending litigation, the department...
Now, what was CFP saying about?
But the lawsuit alleges an internal investigation by Seaford police found one officer acted with excessive force and the other engaged in unbecoming conduct for his comments regarding the planting of drugs. Now, I also contacted the police department about the status of the officers, and the department refused to comment on that as well. Reporting live, Harry.
Don't you bite me, son of a bitch! Get his arm mixed up. This is fucking harassment. I'm not going on the ground. Get him. What are you punching me for? Ow! All right, guys. Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Give me your arm! Right arm's under him. Give me your arm! I can't get my arm out, man! Ow! Give me your arm. You guys... Give me your right arm. Pull it out. Fucking lawsuit, bro. Stop resisting. I'm sorry. I'll do what the fuck you want.
Just to move right. You gotta move right. We were told to go this way. Okay. I'm going. Keep moving. I am. Yeah, I heard you. Stay back. Thank you. Take you back. Stay back.
Hi, I'm Mayor Cory Booker, and I, like so many in our city, are just saying enough. We have had a significant reduction in shootings in our city, but it is still too many. There are a small group of people in our city that think they can walk around with guns. It is unacceptable. But we can't just wish this will stop. We can't just hope this will stop. We as individuals have to do something about it. So we have a program in our city right now that's completely anonymous, and we will give you cash, $1,000, to anyone who calls our anonymous tip line. Give us the information about who is carrying a gun. And if we don't even have to have a conviction, if we arrest that individual and simply get that gun off the streets, you call back, get your second group of digits, go to a bank or send somebody to a bank, and they will give you $1,000 in cash, no question asked. This is the best program in the country. A quick $1,000. If you know somebody carrying an illegal gun, give us the information and get the money. $1,000. We cannot afford to have one more person in our city shot. We cannot afford to have one more such crime happen to devastate families, to rip the fabric of our community. I won't accept it. We're getting so much better in driving the rate of shootings down in our city. But now I'm offering you $1,000 for a little bit of information to help us keep our city and our communities even more safe. Step up. Stand up. Let's get these guns off our street. $1,000. Thank you.
All new at 6, a TSA worker was fired from his job at Charlotte Douglas after he was arrested for stealing money from a passenger's bag. Reggie Edwards is accused of stealing $36 from a passenger's suitcase at Charlotte Douglas last week. He worked as a TSA screener at the airport. And we were sent this statement about the incident from the TSA saying, quote, TSA does not tolerate theft and moved immediately to terminate this individual.
A Louisville man is sent to the hospital with a broken nose and 2 black eyes that he says he got from Metro police officers.
And WDRB's Stefan Johnson explains why the man injured is the one now facing charges. Stefan.
Well, Jennifer, both sides agreed this started with a verbal confrontation and quickly turned violent. but you might be surprised at who threw the first punch. This is what Jonathan Masters looked like in early December. He says 2 Metro police officers gave him a broken nose, lots of bruises, and thousands of dollars in medical bills.
So they're sitting right there in a plain white car, and I'm crossing the street. They didn't have a blinkers on, so they weren't going left, they weren't going right. I thought I could go ahead and cross, but as I'm crossing, they do a donut just right in the middle of the road.
It happened at 4th and M Streets in South Louisville.
And when they do the donut in the middle of the road, they almost hit me. They almost clipped my legs. But I don't jump out of the way real fast, and because I don't jump out of the way when they almost run into me, they shout, "Get the out of the road."
Master says the officers were in plain clothes and an unmarked car and eventually confronted him. And he also admits he threw the first punch.
You know, I was scared for myself, my own physical person. So I swung and I punched the guy.
Master says that's when the second officer got involved.
And he says, "We're police." And when they said they're police, I'm like, oh my God, like, okay, this is crazy that you guys are acting that way, but you say you're police.
Metro Police won't talk about the case on camera because of the pending civil lawsuit, but according to this police report, the detectives identified themselves as police right away.
So he takes his left hand, it's like a cowboy punch from like all the way up here and just went whap, and then busted my nose and just shattered my nose, and then I'm bleeding everywhere.
Meanwhile, in addition to his medical issues, Masters is also facing several felony charges and was in court on Monday. We noticed he was not wearing the nose cast then and questioned him about it. Well, in court yesterday, you didn't have that on, and so why do you have it on today?
Well, the surgery happened right after court, so court was 9 a.m. and then 1 p.m. is when I went to surgery.
Masters pleaded not guilty to menacing, resisting an arrest, and disorderly conduct. Meanwhile, his attorney has drafted this civil lawsuit and plans to file it sometime this week. In the control room, I'm Stefan Johnson, WDRB News.
To the teenager and her family making a police brutality claim.
They say the officer overreacted and hurt the girl.
Our Rux Russell is live in Friendswood with a story you'll see only on KHOU 11 News. Rux?
Yeah, guys, this all stems from an incident that took place Saturday night. Police took down a teenage suspect. People who were there used their cell phones to record what happened. And tonight, that teenage girl is speaking out.
But I'm pregnant. You putting that
It's cell phone video of a Friendswood police officer making a controversial arrest.
Mackenzie!
Witnesses recorded the images that show a 16-year-old girl lying face down on the pavement with the officer's knee in her back.
It's kind of bruised around here. And
Kaylee Coyle says these scratches and bruises are from the encounter, which happened in front of this house on Kingsbury Lane Saturday night. Kaylee was staying there with a friend.
I just called my mom and asked her if she can bring me some food money.
But when her mom pulled up next to the house, her car was partially blocking the road. That's when an officer on patrol in the area stopped to investigate.
So I just said, can I ask you a question? He said, yeah, sure.
She says she asked him why he was writing her mom a ticket. She claims it's the last thing she remembers from that night.
He grabbed this arm and slammed me on the concrete and chin first and knocked me out.
And I'm trying to holler at my daughter, are you okay? Oh, you're okay. And he's freaking out.
Get over there!
Throwing tasers up at everybody.
Friendswood police say Kaylee was belligerent with the officer and that when he ordered her to leave,
back off of me!
What's wrong with you?
she repeatedly kicked him in the shin. She was arrested and charged with interfering with the duties of a public servant.
Get over there now!
But Kaylee's mom maintains the video proves it was the officer who was in the wrong.
Oh, I definitely think he owes her an apology.
You know, I don't ever want that to happen to me again. Very bad experience.
Mackenzie! NCS unit! Back off! Back off!
An experience captured on video. Now, in addition to that charge against Kaylee, her mother was also ticketed for driving with an expired license that night. Still, family members plan to lodge a formal complaint against police. I'm live in Friendswood tonight. Rux Russell, KHOU 11 News.
Now to the highway patrol officer caught on camera allegedly arresting people on bogus charges, including drunk driving. So many people she pulled over actually passed the breathalyzer tests, but were arrested anyway. The officer is now facing a major lawsuit, and ABC's John Schriffen has the story.
This dash cam video is providing ammo for attorneys this morning, firing back at a former Utah highway patrol officer who they say was up to no good.
Can you see your license and your insurance, please?
At first glance, this video from 2011 appears to be a routine DUI stop.
You want to stand right there and face me?
But take a closer look.
Any alcohol for you tonight?
Oh, no, I don't drink.
Utah Highway Patrol Officer Lisa Steed has the driver perform a series of sobriety tests.
3, 4.
Down to your side.
The driver's lawyer says she passed all with flying colors, yet she was still arrested for a DUI. Charges later dropped after blood tests found no alcohol in her system.
We have a culture of corruption that occurs here. The stories are just rampant.
The officer, Lisa Steed, has allegedly pulled over and arrested at least 40 others on bogus DUI or drug charges. Michael Choate says it happened to him when the officer claimed he was speeding.
She said she clocked me at 73. I said fastest I was going is about 62.
Just like the others, he was arrested, charged with DUI, and his wife in the passenger seat forced to find her own way home.
They dropped her off at a Burger King.
After a blood test showed Choate was not drunk, the charge was reduced to having an open container of alcohol. He's now part of a class action lawsuit against Steed and her superiors, claiming they knew she lied in the past. The state even had to fork over $40 grand to this man, who she tasered while still in his car.
Every case that she has should be reviewed. Her award for Trooper of the Year should be taken away from her.
That officer is no longer on the job, currently being investigated on unrelated issues. Now, the Utah Highway Patrol declined to comment about this case because it is pending litigation. We also reached out to Steed and her lawyer, George and Elizabeth. Still waiting to hear back from them.
Wow, that's amazing footage. All right, John, thank you.
That nigga's hand is going. Stop moving. Pull your head behind. I can't. Pull your head behind. Look at him. Why did you hit your head for?
All three of them?
All three of them.
Nah.
I'm feeling that.
They just jumping this nigga.
They are. Hell no. Fucking here.
More niggas is coming. Just... What the fuck?
What are you doing?
Oh.
Why are y'all that ass jumping him? Yo, these cops are probably freaking me to get their ass.
Sydney? Yeah? Babe, you might want to get away from the window. Why? Just get away from the window, because I said so. In case they have to shoot this thing or something, because he's aggressive now. She's aggressive now. She's trying to hook you. Christian's getting it, he's getting it on film right now. Trying to see what it is that he has in his hand. It's not a pistol.
Looks like a taser.
Oh, he's got a taser. He's got a taser. Yeah, he's got a taser on. Yeah, they're like, what the fuck? They came up on that garage. That motherfucker got aggressive quick. I don't know, but it's wide open. I bet you any money the grandson or something, because the dad's truck is gone, and so is the thing. Right across the street, yes, dude with the boat. No, the Mexican kid and stuff. Right across the street. Same thing to me about what? I went out and told him. I went out and said hey to him and told him what I've never seen that dog. And I told him, he said, is there a car missing from here? And I'm like, yeah. I said, well, why? I forgot to tell him that the dad's truck was missing, but he's standing up. They got a cop on the porch. And she's like maybe just right outside the garage with that thing. And the cop cars in the driveway, like I said, they can't get him. Huh? Nah, she walked up on him and he went crazy. I always want to say cray, but he went off. He started, that's when I was telling Christian to get it. And she walked up on him and that motherfucker turned loose. Came right at her. I think they're doing everything they can do not to shoot him. You still getting it, Christian?
Yeah.
Huh? It's going to take up all your memory.
Oh, yeah, he went and he got him another one. Okay, so Zay's husband's out there. So out there. What's his name?
Fidel.
Fidel.
It's cray, cray.
Sandy, come here. Come get this phone.
Where is it? I suggest you don't look.
This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Thrillist. there's a Pennsylvania judge. His name is Mark Cavarella, and he is facing up to 12 years in prison because he just pleaded guilty to racketeering. So he is involved in something known as a Kids for Cash scheme. What he did with another judge by the name of Michael Conahan is, first of all, they got rid of county prisons, okay, or county detention centers for juveniles. All right, they cut funding for it. All of a sudden, the detention centers for juveniles in the county are privately owned. After they did that, they basically collected money in order to send juveniles to the detention centers for petty little things. Okay.
All right. Before Anna, hold on. Before Anna gets into the details of what they sent the kids away for, you might be wondering, how the hell did they get the county juvenile detention center to lock up? One of the ways was not just to try to cut its funding, which they did, but they also refused to send the kids there. They just stopped. Well, if the kids came into their court, they would say, no, we're not sending them there. And eventually they got the county to pay $58 million to set up the privately run detention center. And then they got about, according to the court records, $2.6 million in kickbacks from that detention center to not just get the state, the county in that case, to run it and to finance it, etc., but to also send as many kids as possible so that the detention center would make a higher profit. And now, how did they send the kids? Listen to these egregious examples.
Okay, so they sent the kids there. For instance, there was one child who served 2 years for joyriding his mom's car. Okay, there was another one who was sentenced. It was a college-bound high school girl who served 3 months in juvenile detention for creating a website that made fun of the assistant principal. There was also a person who, or a student who was sent to the detention center for stealing nutmeg. Nutmeg.
Come on, man. First of all, the nutmeg thing, it was $4. Are you kidding me? The Joyride case, the mom said that she wanted to teach the kid a lesson by just bringing him in front of a judge. He was a 12-year-old. He didn't have any criminal record. Of course he wasn't going to go away. The guy all of a sudden says, you're gone for 2 years. She was devastated. In one of these cases, the kid was not ready for detention centers. He wasn't anything like that. He didn't have any juvenile problems before. And then he came out massively depressed and later killed himself.
Yeah, you know what, Jake? Cavarella was having a press conference after he pleaded guilty. He's awaiting sentencing right now. And during the press conference, the mother of that student, her name is Sandy Fonzo, basically went off. And just to tell you why she's so upset, her 17-year-old son was sent to one of these detention centers. He came out. He never fully recovered. He was so depressed that he committed suicide at the age of 23.
You need to be. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? Do you remember my son? An all-star wrestler? He's gone.
This mother's rage and fury greeted former Judge Mark Ciavarella as he exited court Friday. Ciavarella sent Sandy Fonzo's son to juvenile detention for possession of drug paraphernalia. Years later, he killed himself.
Never took a dime to send a kid anywhere. If that was the case, that would have been in this trial.
In one reported case, he sentenced a child to 2 years for joyriding in his mom's car. Some of the kids he ordered locked up were as young as 10. In 2009, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court dismissed 4,000 cases Ciavarella handled, saying they had no confidence in his rulings. On Friday, he was found guilty of 12 of 39 charges, including racketeering, money laundering, and conspiracy, but was not charged with extortion.
No, you know what he told everybody in court? They need to be held accountable for their actions. You need to be.
So his minimum sentence, or he could serve up to 12 years in prison. So, you know, he definitely deserves to spend that time in prison. But the reason why the mother is so upset is the fact that after that press conference, he was able to get in a car, leave, and enjoy time with his own family. She doesn't get that anymore. Her son is gone, and there's nothing that can reverse that. She had an interview with one of the networks. I don't remember which network it was, but, you know, she was just talking about how unfair it is that he can do something this terrible, and even the prison sentence is, the crime does not fit the punishment. The punishment should have been a million times worse. So, and I agree with her on that.
Look, it's amazing what people will do for money, man. It's amazing how sick and grotesque people can be. All those kids' lives that he ruined, those two judges, Was it worth it, man? What, you built an addition to your house? What'd you do? You got a fancier car, you piece of shit? You ruin all those kids' lives. You send them away, rob them of years of their life because you wanted a little bit more money, you son of a bitch.
All right. Go ahead, Cenk.
I mean, come on, man. There's no justice in this country, man. Those people, you know what they should get? They should get a goddamn life sentence, man. To do that to those kids because you were so effing greedy, you wanted an extra couple of bucks. Man, let me be a judge. Life sentence. You're going to throw away 4,000 kids' lives. God knows how many of those kids shouldn't have been in prison because you wanted more money. We're way too soft on these people. Oh, he was a judge. That makes it 1,000,000 times worse. Not any better, but you know they get 10 times more respect than the average guy who goes in there and who stole nutmeg for $4. All right, I'm pissed, man.
We can't have private detention centers. If we do, this is the kind of stuff you're going to hear about all the time in the news. It's crazy.
All right, listen, the private detention centers, when are we going to get it through our thick skulls, man? These people, when you have them doing public services, they're not interested in the public. They're interested in profit. That's the whole point of their existence. And when you say to them, hey, listen, lock up these kids, and the more kids you lock up, the more money you're going to make, obviously that creates an incentive for them to lock up more kids. Now, in this case, they happen to do bribes and kickbacks, etc., but you're creating a wrong incentive structure. Even if they didn't do something illegal, they were going to try to influence politicians, and in this case, judges, etc., through campaign contributions. Lock up more kids because I make more money that way. Look, there are some things that private corporations should be doing. Obviously, many things, right? That's how our system runs. I believe in that system. But there are some things that private corporations should not do. When are we going to get that through our thick skull? Because they're not looking out for us. They're looking out for their bottom line, and this is what happens. Kids get crushed.
And now we have a new sponsor, Thrillist. They're very cool because they hook you up with really interesting things going on in your town or any town you might be in that you don't know about.
Right. They also let you know where the best restaurants, bars, venues are.
Thrillist.com/TYT.